welcome to another episode of the Planet Zoo series. I'm going to go ahead and do my intro while it loads because I know maybe Nancy will start out talking as soon as we arrive. So we're jumping into the third stage of the career, and this one has to do with pandas.
Ah, pandas. They're my daughter's favorite animal. I think it's fair to say that if ever there was an animal which has captured the public's imagination, it's pandas. Oh, well, that's assuming you ignore cats and dogs, obviously. It'll take more than a cute bear to knock them off of the top spot. Oh, but did you know? Thanks to the incredible conservation work that's being done in China and around the world, pandas are no longer endangered. Amazing! That said, they're still considered vulnerable. So, this zoo is extraordinarily lucky and honored to be part of that conservation effort. It really speaks to our reputation, a reputation that you're going to be in charge of maintaining. Along with all the general maintaining, too. I really can't tell you how important the welfare of those pandas is. Oh, wait, I can. It is vitally important. The eyes of the world are on you, my friend. Although, perhaps more pressingly, the eyes of Nancy are on you, too.
Quirky guy, him. I'll wait for Nancy to talk to us. Isn't this zoo beautiful? Love it. Guess Nancy isn't gonna talk to us? Alright, well, the first step is find the giant panda habitat.
Welcome to China. This is Bernie's brand new Panda Celebration Zoo. So new, in fact, that it's not quite finished. But we'll deal with that later. First, let's take a tour of the zoo.
Alright, let's see. First, find the giant pandas. This is their little habitat. It's not all that little. My favorite place is where they sleep down here.
Obviously, the giant pandas are the main attraction for this zoo, and luckily for us, we have one which was born just a few days ago. Let's go and have a look at it. Go on, don't be shy. Select the panda cub.
My little bunny. You're so cute and tiny.
Oh, doesn't it just warm the cockles of your heart? So cute! Did you know that giant pandas, or Ailuropoda melaleuca if we're being formal, are the only entirely herbivorous bears? They can actually eat up to 38 kilos of bamboo a day. Not that surprising, given that they'll spend up to 14 hours a day chomping away. I don't imagine this little fluff ball has that kind of appetite yet, though.
Gotta push to get food from up there, it looks like.
Oh no. I just got word from one of our keepers that a sable antelope was placed into a habitat without going through quarantine first, and that they're displaying signs of disease. We'll have to move them into quarantine to stop the infection from spreading to the other animals. To do that, go to the highlighted habitat, find the infected animal, and then select them to bring up their information panel.
I gotcha, Nancy. I think this is the sick one. Yes. Quarantine. Oh, she just says quarantine. Okay.
Good. Now click move and then transfer them into quarantine. I've highlighted the quarantine facility in the zoo for you.
Get your sick bum in quarantine. Get that guy all fixed up.
In order to build the vet surgery, click on Facilities, Staff Facilities, and then Vet Surgeries.
Okay, we're gonna put it right here, I bet. It's connected to the bath. Yes. Add to the building. Oop. That's on the floor.
That's the job. Vet surgeries play a very important role in a zoo, as they're the only places that vets can treat the animals. Once there's room for the antelope, the vet will pick them up from quarantine and bring them to the surgery.
From there to there.
Yes, diseases can spread through a habitat quite easily, especially if the water inside it isn't being cleaned regularly. As it happens, I just got a report that one of our water treatment facilities has broken down and the water in the flamingo and saltwater crocodile habitats has gotten dirty. I've highlighted the water treatment facility for you, so you should go and check it out.
Have you? That? Oh, okay. That's really far away. Let's grab this, and I assume call a mechanic. Let's locate. I have located it. It is here.
Click on the water treatment facility to bring up its information panel.
Yeah, it. Look at him go. You're on. We've called a mechanic, so they should just pop around here. We're good. I like this whole like facility in the middle, the staff, because it covers so much of the zoo. It's kind of against what you did, like your instinct would be, which would be to have like a big nice area for guests in the middle.
Good work. Now that the water treatment facility has been repaired, the water will be cleaned up in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. You can also use mechanics to repair power facilities, transport rides, spins, benches, signs, and, as you already know, habitat barriers. Now, I'll be honest, I'm still a little worried about that disease scare we had, so I think we should do some research into it. Doing research into a disease can help prevent future outbreaks of it. And even if we do have an outbreak, it'll make the disease much less potent. I'd like you to start some research into bordetalosis. Disease research can be found in vet research, so head over to your research centre and get one of the vets researching it.
Woohoo! We got a bronze.
Lovely job. Once that research is complete, I expect we'll send that disease packing in no time.
Yes. I feel like Nancy's gonna talk again soon. We're just gonna keep it.
That was a close-run thing with those antelopes. I dread to think what might have happened if you hadn't got them into quarantine as quickly as you did. Fast thinking there. We had a horrible outbreak of viral gastroenteritis here at Goodwin House. Although, luckily, that was just limited to me and my wife.
Right. Now that we've got all our urgent tasks in hand, we can start to focus on the guests and improving their time in the park. You see, you can also do research into new and improved guest facilities, transport rides, as well as new types of barrier and other things via the workshop. I've highlighted the workshop for you, so head over there, select it, and then click on View Workshop.
I feel like using the the zoom menu is easier, but fine. We'll do it your way, Nancy. Hello. Do this. View Workshop. Just a moment.
And finally, assign a mechanic to research souvenir shops by dragging and dropping them onto it. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Just a momento. That's what they're gonna come up with. We're gonna see more weather and the time changing in this round, or this stage. Oh, one of our Garreals is about to mature.
Great stuff. That research will take a little while, so let's have a look at something else in the meantime. Because we've had some good news. It turns out that we're allowed to adopt more giant pandas. The authorities have given us 3 females to help with our breeding program. Even so, I'm sure you know how notoriously difficult it is to get pandas to breed, so we'll have to be patient. Our current giant panda habitat is full to the brim, but luckily we've already got another habitat ready to go. But before we move our new pandas in, they'll need to go through quarantine. Of course, we can't do that until we've accepted them. So open up animal trading and go into the animal reward section.
That would have been here, but we've already done that. So they're now in storage, and now we need to move them to quarantine. Like so. And then they'll see if they have any diseases. I love all the details in this one. Like a little living area.
While we wait for them to clear quarantine, you should set up their new habitat so they feel at home in there. I'll also need you to bring over one of the male pandas from our other habitat, because without him, we're not going to have much of a breeding program, are we? So go on, move him over and get everything set up for your pandas.
Okay, so let's see. Let's grab this. We have 1, 2, 3 males. I mean, it says it right there. Let's check. Does it say any particular male? No, just move one male to the new habitat. Let's check these guys out. Hello. Ooh, there we go. Are you... Ooh, he's a gold. His fertility is quite high, but his longevity is not great. Alright, check this guy. That's his stats. Ooh, they're better, but his size is a bit small, but I'd prefer that than longevity. Let's check their last male. Hi, buddy. How's yours? Ooh. Alright, I think he's probably better than this guy. Yeah. Alright, let's move this one into the new habitat. Just stick him over here. Boop. So now he'll be transferred over and we'll be able to get this area set up for him correctly. Though there is something I'd like to complain about. They know what they have the storyline have you do, but then they do something like every single one of these plants surrounding this building are ones the bears don't like. Like you'd think, okay, we're gonna make them put pandas here. You'd think they'd at least make them things the pandas are okay with. Because I don't want to go fixing all of those flowers. You always forget, like, the start of their names. Like, when it comes to the warthogs, they never remember it's a common warthog, so you have to scroll through the list, like, what are they called again? Why can't I find them? Hi, buddy. Welcome to your new habitat. Alright, so, let's kind of give this a pause so he doesn't have to be unhappy for too long. We'll get the terrain fixed up. We have too much long grass and not enough short, so that's helpful. Bring this up to like a 5 is what I usually like to have it. Clean out this middle area with some short grass. And do the same over here. I'll redo this later, once I have like plants and stuff put in. To like really refine it to the way I want it to look. Alright, and then I think there's... Oh, we should clear this right here because I'll walk a lot. Right there. And that one I think is dirt. It's always night in this game. Let's go ahead and go into their little home and check it. Because the other habitat has like a bunch of grass in their sleeping area. So let's go look at that real quick. Over here. Let's get down and go in. There's grass everywhere in here, which I think is very strange. Might use some soil. I didn't clear off some of these plants. Because I don't think they make sense in here. Like, they don't have any grow lights or anything going on in here, so. Get rid of maybe that guy. Or not. I guess that plant is staying there. This map has a lot of stuff locked, which is kind of annoying. Especially because when we placed that... this. I can't put walls here. You can't edit this building. I mean, I could have them be a separate building, but that's way more effort than I'm dedicated to. Alright, so let's check this again. Terrain. We still have too much long grass. think maybe I'll just try to get most of the long grass out and then add more in a bit. So while I work, I'm going to talk about my plans for this series. The next area, the next stage, is time consuming, you could say. My sister and I played through, we've been playing since release almost every night. And after we got through these first 3, we're still working on that one. So instead of just making that the end of this series, like that's what this series becomes, is that one zoo. What I'll do when we reach it is I will record what they have to say, and then we will give you tours of what we did for each stage of the medal, and just show off our zoos that we've been working on, because it'd be a lot to redo all of that. Like I said, we've been working on it for a couple weeks now, so I hope that will be alright with you guys. Well, at least I got the long grass down, but I don't know where the rest of the long grass is, so that'll have to do. Environment. I know they want more plants, so let's go to nature. Temperate Asia. Nope. There we go. Temperate Asia. There we go. And so I'm going to do a little bit of a time lapse of me spamming plants everywhere.
Our new female pandas have been given a clean bill of health. You'd best move them into the new habitat so they can settle in. And I hope you've made their habitat as comfy as possible, because animals will only breed if they're happy.
I'm working on it. So here you can see what I was talking about with the plants that don't belong in this panda exhibit. 30-ish of these 2 plants and 13 of this one. Like, I don't want to go through and get rid of all of those and replace them. Why would they put them here? I'm not done putting the plants everywhere. I'm gonna keep doing that. Never mind, I'm not allowed to place anymore. Alright, I'll go back to this. I want ground coverage and stuff, so these plants look like they're anchored with stuff. So, I guess we're going to continue on and find our female pandas. Go ahead and move them in. So, 2 of them are pretty young. Well, actually, these flicker a ton in the quarantine, so I don't know how accurate they are.
Oh, bless. I think they'll be really happy in there. Fingers crossed we'll see some lovely new cubs sooner rather than later. Right, while they're being delivered, we'd better get on with something else. Oh, dear me. There's never any time to rest when you're running a zoo, is there? Well, unless you hit the pause button.
I mean,
okay,
I've already done that.
I think it's time I taught you all about work zones. I know, they don't sound as interesting as the animals, but trust me, they're ever so useful.
They're
You see,
very useful.
work zones are a way of making sure that your staff concentrate on specific habitats or tasks within the zoo, so they aren't wandering off elsewhere when it's time to feed the animals or the like.
Oh, I need to go make a work zone. First, I'm going to make
So
sure...
let's start by creating a new work zone and then assigning a keeper to it so that they know to look after the new pandas. To do that, go into the zoo section, then click on staff and then work zones.
I'm taking care of a problem I know that these pandas have, which is that they've set these a little warm. For the comfort of these guys, it's up... Where am I? Oh. So they can get a little upset. Oh, look at this guy! He's gonna go up that tree. Cool. But yeah, it can get too warm for these poor little guys, so I want to fix that before it's much of a problem. There you guys go. It should be better. Right, so we're making ourselves a work zone. Very useful for keeping keepers and things where they need to be. Otherwise, you know, you could have a keeper over here claim the task of feeding these, and no one else can do it while they walk all the way here to find out what they need, and go to the hut and do it and come back. So it's just better to have people who kind of stick in the area and work with just one habitat. So, go to zoo, and to staff, and to work zones.
Now, click on New Work Zone. To set up your new work zone, I'll need you to select the highlighted habitat gate, staff room, and keeper hut. Oh, and don't forget to name it something useful. Once you're done, just go ahead and exit the work zone creator.
There we go. We want to find a keeper who's... Guess we need a new keeper.
Now let's hire a new keeper and assign them to our new work zone. We don't want them getting distracted by other goings-on in the zoo. Go on, hire one.
Alright, so we hired one. Now we go down here, work zone and new pandas. Ta-da!
There you go. Now your keeper will focus his attention on our new pandas. Oh, and just so you know, all types of staff can be assigned work zones. Just make sure that they have access to all the buildings that they need. And one last thing, you might find it faster to assign them from the Work Zones tab in the Staff section of Zoo Management. That'll save you having to chase around selecting your staff one by one. Oh, it sounds like the brand research has been completed. You should collect your rewards, and you can do that by clicking on the notification or by going back into Mechanic Research.
We have research just a momento. Place it just a momento. Ah, yes. Let's go to facilities.
Now that we've got our lovely new Just a Memento shop designed, you should build one of them near the zoo's exit. That way the guests won't miss it on their way out and we won't miss out on their money.
Let's see. There? Yeah, here.
Just a momento.
Just a momento. Yay, our great pandas are our most popular species.
Oh, that's ever so wonderful, that is. Anyway, I'm just off for a moment, but I'm sure I'll have some more jobs for you to look at shortly.
Nope, our pandas are arriving. We'll have a big task here in a sec.
Those pandas look just adorable. I can see why people keep foolishly forgetting that they're wild bears. And good work on that new gift shop branding. Just a memento. Very clever. Much better than our old overpriced gifts branding. I'm all for truth in advertising, but it was perhaps a little on the nose.
Back as promised. Right, I'd like you to increase the number of different species in the zoo. Now, you can find out what species are already in your zoo by going into the zoo section and then into the animals area. And if you're wondering how you're going to fit them all in, then mixed species habitats are a great way to save space and create interesting habitats. Just make sure to check the Zoopedia to find out which species enjoy living together. E.g., don't mix lions with antelopes.
Why ever not? I'm gonna make this climb proof. I'm going here. Climb proof. Oh yeah, you were heading on that, weren't ya? So let's give it a pause while we figure it out. Looks like they're facing different directions. So let's get this guy and turn it around. There. So we need these bands across the top because these are climbable and the bears can climb them. I always found it a little annoying how much of this is all glass. It's really expensive and it doesn't mean you can kind of choose where they're looking at your animals. So I'm going to be turning some of this into solid barriers. There we go. Giving them just like little viewpoints all around. This side is concrete though. I should probably just make this the same material. There we go. Is this climbable? Not climbable, so we don't need these bands. Alright. Concrete. And concrete. And you too. Concrete. Thank you. There we go. So now they can see them when they're sniffing. Over here, you can see them when they're playing with this toy. And then you can see them from the front. But yeah, I think that's better. And it's less costly. This guy got boxed because he was definitely trying to head out when he's at that wall that was climbable. I want to finish my plants. I'm allowed to do stuff. Alright. Oh. Let the bears out. Oh there, Mr. Panda. Mrs. Panda. Let's check that everything's correct. Terrain's looking good. And environment. Ooh, we still could go a little... Oh. That's probably because of the 70 plants that don't belong here. Oh well. This is what I've done so far for adding some plants to the area. I think over there needs something. Still torn on that cherry tree because it doesn't match anything in the surrounding area, you know? Like, I try to keep as much in the habitats related to or looking like they belong in the area, just so it makes sense that it would be growing there, but I don't know. Yeah. Some plants here. I like the idea of them like sniffing around in some bushes and stuff because of this scented thing. So I don't want them to be like too much in the way of plants, but I do like the look of it. Like they're scrounging in for something. Here we go. Let's put a little... Nah, we'll leave that. So yes, this is our panda so far. And it looks quite nice. It helps that there's this beautiful building already there that I didn't have to do. Let's see. Research done. We'll just let the... Oh, nope, they're completely done with that research. So let's start researching the diamondback and the snail, because they're pretty quick. We'll get those done first. So yes, let's check our objectives. Currently it is to have 18 species in the zoo, but I will be keeping an eye on their happiness and everything while we do so. Let's just take a little bit of a tour of the zoo now that we're not being talked to all the time. Here we have some of these guys. Pangolins? Pangolins? There's a couple in here. They're very tiny. Very endangered, I believe. Unfortunately. Let's check these guys. Yes, critically endangered. Because part of them is believed to have medicinal purposes and traditional medicine. So this I do not like. These open fences. Not just because, like, I know whatever is in here can't get out. That's not what bothers me. It's how dumb human beings can be. And that there's nothing keeping them from throwing stuff in or trying to get too close. So, I don't know. Might change this. This is where the sick creature was? I don't know if they're in here. If they automatically go back once they're done passing quarantine. Let's see. Are you sleeping in your little... There he is. Hi, cutie. Don't know if I'll keep him here. Purposes for the mixed, like safari species exhibit habitat thing. Here's the other pandas that we looked at earlier. And then over here we have flamingos. So I'm curious how they keep them here. Hope they don't have to clip wings. But yes, here's all our flamingos. And then over here is some crocodiles. Saltwater crocodile. And his habitat isn't right. I've already done this before, so there's some things I'm aware of. And this one is... Oh, is it gharials? Yeah. Here's some gharials with their weird noses. I think they're also critically endangered. Yep. Poor little buddies. And then... Oh, they have a little fountain. On this side, we have two species. We have the Mr. Stickhole Face in Water here. The okapis, I think. And then okapis. I think they're okapis. We looked it up, my sister and I, and then I completely forgot what it was. So let me look.
Okapi.
Okapi. Okapis. Look at that guy go. Hey buddy, and then the tapir. And this one has the creepy story in it. If you go over here, there's a ladder. Someone's just living up in here. Love the little detail though. I think that's all for habitats. Let's look from above. So this is those two creatures, the gharial, saltwater, flamingos, pandas, the sable antelope, and the pangolins, and our other pandas. That's our new zoo that we'll be working on for the next couple of episodes. We need to build up some new habitats and get more exhibits in. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode filled with cute little pandas. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.